all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 197. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the RC Cola drinking Ryan Clements. Glug, 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 glug. All the empty calories, his teeth. And he only does everything, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
How you doing, Colin?
I'm okay.
Don't fucking lie to the fans. Colin's in the pit, everybody, and I can tell you why. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have a moment of silence.
All right.
That was for Q101. Chicago's alternative radio station is switching over to News Talk tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
The one that I grew up on. The one that Game Over Greggy's dad would be driving Game Over Greggy home from the comic book shop, listening to some 311 out of that thing. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Gone. No one will ever know it anymore.
That happened to K-Rock in New York City,
Dark
too.
day.
That used to be like the awesome alt-rock station, and now it does, like, I don't know, adult contemporary or something like that.
Interesting. It's
Radio's
taking its toll
dead.
on IGN. It's taking its toll. Everybody's in the pit except me and Ryan.
Yes.
We're ready to have an awesome freaking show.
I'm ready.
Let's start it like we do every time with what once was, once will be forever, and always in the eternal fires of the Phoenix will be the Roper Report. Time for some news.
Eternal fires of the Phoenix.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my first time reading the Roper Report with the new mics, so give me a sec to adjust.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to lean forward like
These
this.
are also. You act like it's so bad. This is last night. I recorded a podcast laying in my bed, and I will tell you, it was one of my worst performances ever. I'm much more excited to
God,
be.
that sounds
up
awesome.
Oh, God.
We should just have an infirmary in here that we can all just lay in bed.
All right.
Greg, just a helpful hint. I find that holding it up like this is very helpful because then you're staring straight ahead.
Yeah, I like that.
There you go.
All right, we should get clips. If we could put a clip right there, that'd be brilliant.
I bet I could do that. I
All
could
right, good.
improvise something because I'm actually a direct descendant of MacGyver.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
A
gosh.
fictional character.
Wow, that's hard to do. That's impressive. Kicking off the Roper Report, I'm going to remind you several times throughout this show, ladies and gentlemen, but number one on the Greg Miller Roper Report, not the Colin Moriarty Roper Report, is that next week at this time, we'll be down at the Comic-Cons, Colin.
Yes.
We're going to be doing some Comic-Con up, and there is plenty of opportunities to come support the Beyond Nation and the IGN Nation, as they call it. First off, IGN has the IGN Oasis, which is this little thing. It was where we gave away T-shirts last year. I know I'm looking at you guys like you were there.
No, I wasn't.
I was the only one there. Please. Give away T-shirts, get some free food. There's like photos and stuff. That is the IGN Oasis. It's Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 5 p.m. It's over at the Hard Rock Hotel. You can't miss it. It's right outside. When you walk up, there'll be a giant line of people, and people will be chilling out, having a great old time. There's also like a Sprint booth and stuff. Something's going on over there. It's a gaming lounge. You don't need to go to that, though. Don't worry about that. But what you should be going to is the panels and the meet and greets. Thursday. Colin, what the hell are you doing Thursday?
Sleeping? I don't know.
No.
No. I'm going to go hang out with some Chimera in
Yes.
San Diego.
It's the first on. It's
Kyle
the first.
the Chimera?
It's the first ever ResistCon. Colin is
On the Chimeran homeworld.
Colin is hosting Resistance 3, exploring in 1950s altered America, the continuing creation of the Resistance universe. This is the panel with the folks from Insomniac.
Yes.
You're the host. You're moderating.
I am moderating it.
This is on Thursday from 5 to 6, room 7AB.
It will be fun. I talked to Insomniac a couple days ago to work everything out
Yep.
with them, and they have some exciting things planned.
Nice.
So don't miss it.
May I just ask, and you're not allowed, you don't have to answer this question.
Okay.
Can you tell us what you're planning on wearing to the
Ooh, good
panel?
question,
Are you
good
going to be
question.
like dressed up?
A blue
Are you just gonna be
dress.
casual? A blue dress?
A blue dress.
Okay.
No,
That-
I'm just going to wear what do I normally wear? Jeans and a t-shirt.
Sounds
What
good.
T-shirt? This is a big decision for me too. I'm trying to decide: do I want to rock my Beyond T-shirt? Which the reason I only wouldn't is because it has a hole in the shoulder.
Oh,
it has a hole in the
no.
shoulder. It's been there for like ever. It's a bad cafe press. Bad cafe press. But what I usually do is I wear a long sleeve gray shirt underneath it. But I can't do that in Comic-Con because I will already be sweating my balls off.
Right.
So it's not. I can't do that. So do I just rock the Beyond shirt with a hole in it? What do I care? I'm Greg Miller. Or do I wear like that Superboy IGN shirt I have with it and the logo in the middle?
Tell you what.
Big decisions.
Tell
Yeah,
you what.
Yeah.
You pass that shirt to me, I'll have my tailor fix it up for you.
All right.
tailor?
I like that.
There you go.
How much is that gonna set me back?
Oh, that's
Not
shoes.
a lot.
Is this Neefy? Is it just
No,
Neefy?
it's not neat.
Okay. All right. So no shirt decision on your
I
end?
don't know. I'll probably just wear a Beyond shirt.
All right, good. And then you can come see me and Damon and Rich and probably a bunch of IGN entertainment editors and stuff. They're doing a meet and greet on IGN Saturday, also at the Oasis. I believe it's 4 to 5. We're closing down the Oasis, and then we're going to roll out to a bar or some kind of thing to go hang out with people. I have a panel, though. Shots. I think I have a panel that night, though, afterwards that I have to go see. But you can come with me to that, and then we can go back to wherever we're drinking. And then, right on the heels of getting wasted on Saturday with the fans, I have a Starhawk panel Sunday, room 25AB at 10 o'clock. It's me talking to Dylan, Job, everybody else there about the Starhawk. Starhawk, the evolution of Warhawk to Starhawk, the new universe that is Starhawk. That's an interesting title.
How many times can they say Starhawk?
I'm assuming
Warhawk,
the
Starhawk,
panel is
Warhawk.
actually the evolution from Warhawk to Starhawk, the new universe that is Starhawk. But I think when I put this into my phone, I put Starhawk in front of it. But look for the Starhawk. We'll talk some Warhawk. You can walk up. You can ask questions. It'll be great. You can do that resistance panel too as well.
Yeah, you can ask questions to the resistance panel, and plus 10 points charisma for anyone who dresses as Kyle the Camaro.
Oh, we need to point. I don't know. How are you going to introduce yourself when you start the panel? You're the moderator. You start the panel. Give me your moderation introduction.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet.
Oh, see that I already have my whole spiel, but here's the teaser. It's gonna get up there,
ready.
and I'm not gonna do the Uncharted one. I had a good one, my first Uncharted, but I'm not gonna do that. This one is just gonna be, what's up, everybody? I'm Greg Miller from IGN.com and Podcast Beyond. That's when everyone in the room yells Beyond. That's your cue, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
This is like, if you remember the Uncharted panel from 2 years ago, explosive Beyond. I was blown away. We had so many people yell Beyond. In this one, I'm assuming Starhawk on a Sunday morning, only the most dedicated Beyond and PlayStation fans will be there. So make sure you come, yell Beyond, tell the people next to you yell Beyond after I say it that first time. You'll show Sony who rules, and that's Podcast Beyond.
Who rules the roost?
And I'm assuming Colin will do something similar.
Yeah, I'm just
Colin's going to mention Beyond at some point.
Yeah, I'll say it in the beginning, and I don't know. I don't want to. I'm just gonna ad-lib it, as it were, as we go.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous about this actually, but I'm pretty,
you're gonna have a great
pretty,
time.
but I'm pretty
Panels
excited.
are awesome.
I know Resistance pretty well.
Yeah.
So I think
you're totally prepared. For
I've
this.
never heard of Starhawk or Warhawk, so I'm kind of interested to learn about them when I'm up there.
I think
What's this about?
It's a racer, right?
Yeah, no, this is like the offshoot of Pixel Junk side scroller, I think.
Got it.
Okay. Now let's get to the real Roper Report. This is generated by Colin Moriarty, so the opinions and sarcasm expressed
spin
here
zone.
are not necessarily. Oh, jeez, look at how long number 6 is.
number 6
Christ,
is that
Colin.
don't worry about it. It's
A
just
lot of words in number 5 I can't even pronounce. Let's see. Oh, God. Number 1. In case you're expecting the Uncharted 3 beta end today, July 14th, is scheduled, you'd be wrong. Naughty Dog is keeping the beta going for an extra day. Uncharted 3's beta will now run through July 15th, ending at noon Eastern Standard Time. That's exciting. I wanted to hit 25 really badly, and I had a bunch of reviews and stuff this week in NCAA last week, so I'm only about to hit 22. So I could stay up all night long.
Do you think you could do it?
No.
All right.
Probably not going to really do it at all, but I really wish I could or did. You know what I mean?
I got to level 2.
Man, you're just embarrassment. Just embarrassing, man. Number 2, Sony announced a 3-year, $20 million investment plan that will continue to support independent developers that want to make games exclusively for the PlayStation Network. 4 games have already been revealed to be part of this continuing investment, including Euphoria, Okaboo, Payday the Heist, and Papo and Yo. More
Papo and
are
Yo.
obviously forthcoming. I'm excited for all those games, even though I can't pronounce most of them.
Yeah, Euphoria looks kind of cool.
Okaboo. We have a written preview and video preview going up today, and it's adorable.
Okaboo.
I love that little cloud. And then
Chocobo?
no, and then Payday. That sounds cool. Left 4 Dead finally, but with banks. Sounds awesome.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We're good. We like this plan, right?
Sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
PSN already has a lot of great exclusives.
Suck it, Xbox
No,
Live.
I think I could do a lot more with those $20 million.
Do you? Yeah. When are you gonna start making games, Ryan? That's the big question.
I started yesterday.
What'd you do?
Yeah, I made a platformer, and it's called The Tragic Mistimely Adventures of Greg Miller from
Oh my
Podcast
God.
Beyond.
Okay.
It's too long.
And
It's gonna be a great mini.
Yeah, it's a mini. It's
Is it $7?
$14.
Yes.
On a similar offshoot here, Daryl wrote into Beyond at IGN.com. And now here's something I want to do. I want to stop the show, ladies and gentlemen. We're a conversational podcast. You know that. If you ever want to email Podcast Beyond, you email us at beyond@ign.com. I've been trying, over the years here to get better at just integrating that into conversation. Daryl sent an email to IGN, beyond@ign.com, you know what I mean? And apparently now people have stopped hearing the email address. People think they listen to the show, but then I get PSN messages asking me, how do I send in a question to Beyond? And that makes me very, not angry, but frustrated.
Yeah,
And a few people
frustrating.
have been emailing, I don't know about you guys, but emailing me, and I think a few, us collectively sometimes, right to our email addresses, like
Yeah.
to cmoriarty@ign.com, which is not acceptable. So
For Beyond questions.
Yes.
You don't mind being reached out to on other issues or matters or breaking news
I
or
wish
something?
no one should email me at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I always say you can reach out to me if you ever see a typo or something's broken on the site or you need assistance outside of, quick fire questions, you're welcome to email me. And that's for interviews and school projects. I've been doing those a lot lately.
No, of course. I mean, of course, if it has nothing to do with the podcast, but I've been getting podcast questions.
Yeah,
and
don't
stuff
do
like
that. Hey, Beyond, what's up, guys? I was wondering. No, beyond.ign.com, mother.
Please. I got to keep those. We get a lot of emails. We like to keep them, separated.
But Daryl wrote in, similar to this question about development, right? He says, I don't know if this has been mentioned by Sony, but do you think Sony will allow open development for applications and games for the Vita? If so, do you think it could keep Vita games by major publishers relatively cheap, since they would have to compete with smaller, cheaper games? We didn't do anything with it because it was really just a comment on I think it was in Developer Magazine. They talked to our good friend and ours, YoSP, over there on the Twitter, at YoSP, Shiheda. Yo, SP. Anyways, president of the Worldwide Studios, he said that the Vita development kit is going to be very cheap, and they're going to be reaching out to independent developers to get them on board and making cool games. So hopefully, you'll see an app store or something that can compete with the app store, something small, minis that make sense on the price they are priced at.
Speaking of Shuhei Yoshida-san, did you see his tweet about Google Maps?
I think so.
Did you do that?
No. Well, maybe I didn't. Tell me what you're on.
Yeah. All right. I think he tweeted recently that go into Google Maps.
Yeah.
And I believe you put China as your starting point and Taiwan as your destination, or maybe it's the other way around.
Okay.
Shit, I forgot.
Well, that's easy to fix.
And then he said, go down to the 48th step and read it.
What is it?
And I did that. If you go all the way down, I swear, this is on Google Maps. You go to the 48th step. It says, swim across the Pacific Ocean.
That's radical.
Yes.
Wait, Pacific, right? Damn it. I always get those. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
right.
it's the Pacific Ocean.
I'm right.
Yeah, Pacific Rim. It's all over there.
Yeah.
Number 3, Electronic Arts has purchased PopCap Games, the thriving developers of such smash hits as Peggle, Plants vs. Zombies. The deal cost EA a reported $750 million. Oh my god.
That's a lot of money.
The payment for PopCap will be through $650 million in cash, as well as an additional $100 million in EA common stock that will be issued to certain PopCap shareholders. Do you think the $650 was given to them in a giant check like they won a golf tournament?
In $1 bills.
There you go. Enjoy
How
it.
does that actually work? It's cash?
Yeah, so I used to get confused by this too, especially when I was young, because it's like, buy this car in cash and so.
That means available money, right?
Yeah, it means you can. It's a check, but it's it's cash
It's not-
funds.
it's not like a
basically
credit card.
It's
Right.
basically like numbers just changing in the bank's servers or
Got it.
whatever, as opposed to credit or common stock or whatever, which is included in.
I think we should film a movie where the three of us are kind of go on this heist to steal the $650 million.
They'll never
and
notice.
before it's wired to
I always wanted to
PopCap.
have an offshore Cayman bank, you know what I mean, or a Swiss bank account.
Yep.
So you can do whatever the hell you want over there. It just makes
It's good for
sense.
tax dodging
Yeah.
Well,
if you're interested.
I am interested. We'll talk more about this after.
Okay.
Number 4, Limbo was revealed a while ago to come to the PSN, but now we have a date. Look for Limbo to come to North American PSN on July 19th and the European PSN on July 20th. That's exciting.
It is. That's another of what I like to call an unexclusive.
They've been unexclusified?
Yeah.
Are you gonna play that one? Did you ever play it on Xbox?
No, I haven't, but I will play
did.
it.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna. I played it on Xbox. I enjoyed it, but I'm not. It's not a game I really want to go back through.
Yeah, I heard the achievements weren't very good, so if they're the same for the trophies, it won't be very good. But,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm gonna buy it anyway. I mean, I want to show them our support.
Yeah, that's true too. I do like helping them out. All
I
right,
enjoyed that game.
here comes the first one, the first marathon, everybody. Number 5, Tetsunoa Nomura of Square Enix spoke to his Japanese magazine Famitsu and revealed some morsels of information about the much anticipated Kingdom Hearts 3. Go ahead.
Yeah, you were really close, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nomura.
No, you were right about Nomura,
Nomura,
and
okay.
it's Tetsuya.
Tetsuya. All right.
Yeah,
Parent tries to teach me Japanese because I love Japan.
Right.
And I've got to pronounce every little you have to the syllables are very important.
Yes.
And you know that I just like to talk I just slur everything
But
together.
it's very difficult. I don't think anyone is blaming you for.
Well,
How dare you not be
there's
fluent?
your Midwest education. Nomura revealed that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be the last game featuring the series' main antagonist. Oh Jesus, is Xehanort?
Xehanort.
Is he related to the Noid?
No, he's
Nord,
not
get
related
it?
to the
Uh-huh.
Noid.
Oh my god! But there's already a framework in place for future sequels that will retail Sora, the main character.
That will retail?
That's what you say here. That will retail
Oh,
Sora,
okay.
the main character.
It was-
Return? What did that?
Maybe
feature. I don't know.
Entail?
It says retail. Entail?
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Oh,
could be-
that makes sense. That will entail Sora as the main character.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Nomura pointed towards the upcoming Kingdom Hearts 3D on 3DS as possibly being the final spin-off before Kingdom Hearts 3 finally comes out. He also revealed that Square Enix is looking into tech to render past titles in HD, which could signal Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy collections. Oh my God, that was a mouthful. I'm gonna drink some coffee. Clements, explain why we care about any of that.
We care about it because, man, we have been waiting a long ass time for the third proper Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, you get a lot of spin-offs.
Yeah,
a lot of differences.
we've gotten many.
Yeah.
I could count them all out, and it's a large number. Especially between, Kingdom Hearts 2 came out during the PS2's time, and now how far are we into the PS3's life cycle? Think about it.
20 years probably, I think?
20 years.
20 to 25 years.
It's been 20 years of PlayStation.
Well, you got to be patient. Square's working on a lot of really important games over there that people really love. So.
All right.
Was that sarcasm? I think it was
yes,
sarcasm.
it is, because
Oh my
Colin
gosh.
has been down on Square Enix recently. Now, I agree with him on most points, but I think that they've still got some tricks.
They got
What
the
the
Deus
hell
Ex.
are they doing over there?
The Deus Ex.
That they didn't develop that. They're publishing it.
Whatever. It takes time. It takes resources.
Yeah, it takes resources. But
Also, I heard about some awesome figures they're going to have at Comic-Con, and I can't wait.
I will say that I am very excited. Did you put the Versus 13 stuff in here?
No, I didn't see any news on it.
Real quick side note, our Japanese correspondent, Kira, posted an article, I want to say yesterday, about Final Fantasy Versus 13, which is it's just its own thing, but it just shares the name with Final Fantasy 13. But anyway, they revealed a few more little details on it, and apparently they are pouring a lot of effort into sort of the cutscene and storytelling and trying to make it a little more... They're making it more playable.
Gotcha.
Like, all the in-game cutscenes will be controllable by the player, which I think is very
Controllable
interesting.
like Metal Gear, where I'm just like shifting it left and right. I got a robot.
Metal Gear.
I don't
Gear?
think so, but it's not confirmed yet. Kira had a great title for it too, because basically Nomura, the same guy, didn't want to officially share screenshots to the public because he didn't want to distract from the other Square Enix projects.
Uh-huh.
So she titled it basically, it looks too good to be shared. So that's what that is.
Spot on.
Listen, real quick.
Uh-oh. Colin's going to let it fly.
If I was if I was one of the decision makers at Square,
Right.
I would cancel these Final Fantasy 13 projects. I would have canceled them a long time ago after Final Fantasy 13
That's a
came
bad
out.
idea.
And then I would have put all my resources into a Final Fantasy 7 remake, which would sell like 10 million copies. That would make the company financially viable again, because if they keep going the way they're going, they won't exist in 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating that they are just like,
Counterpoint, Mr. Clement.
I think that...
I'm not going to show. I'm having fun today.
Listen,
and I just bit the microphone. I am not used to these.
Clements and I have had many, many hours and hours worth of Square conversations.
we have.
And the one common thread that Clements and I share is that we both love Square growing up.
Yeah.
Like we both like
Just like Nintendo.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And Nintendo is obviously disgraced us
Going off the
basically.
deep end.
And Square is really doing the same thing in a different way, because they're not, as opposed to Nintendo really going casual and basically just saying F you to the hardcore consumer, Square is basically saying we don't want to innovate anymore, and we take these games now and make sequels to them, and just, over and over again. Instead of going back to the classic games that don't have sequels, especially the two classic Final Fantasies that I think everyone basically unanimously agrees are the best Final Fantasy games. Not that I necessarily agree with one of them. It's 6 and 7. If they remade 6 and especially remade 7, those games would sell like hotcakes, and they don't do it. And I don't know why they're just ignoring it over and over again. Put out a Final Fantasy collection. Do all these things. Like, this company is hemorrhaging money. Like I said, I wrote a Square piece a month or two ago about their financials. They are hemorrhaging money. And at this rate, they are not going to survive. So, more than 5 years.
Counterpoint, Mr. Clements.
It's not so much a counterpoint as agreeing. They have made a lot of bad decisions, but I think let's keep in mind the fact that I'm sure I don't have the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy 13 sold well. Right?
Yeah, it did.
It made them money, and so making a sequel to that, which they haven't done since 10, which also 10 sold very well.
Yes.
It financially makes sense. Is it smart from we want to sort of see that company do something new and really step forward, or go back and touch on the real classics? No, we do want that. But I think that, they're like, oh, we made a game, we finally made some money off of this, let's make a sequel. That makes sense. And then Versus 13, I think, started off as a good idea, and I think that still has potential, because that's basically, that game is it's Kingdom Hearts, but it's for people that don't want Disney characters in their game. And I think that there is an audience of Square Enix fans that wants that. Because that's originally what I was like before I got into Kingdom Hearts, but I like Kingdom Hearts now.
Good.
So
you came around. Keyblading.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they've made terrible decisions. I mean, Colin and I both agree on that. But I think there's still some hope for them, and I think that they will ultimately do a Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh, I'm sure they will. It's just crazy that this is the same company that gave us all those classics.
Yeah.
You know, all of the like just hit after hit after hit after hit from 1990, 1991, really, with Final Fantasy 2/4, all the way through the PlayStation era and early into the PlayStation 2 era. We were getting great Square games like consistently, with the exception of like Saga Frontier and a few misses. Like there were really few games that were not good or great. You know,
I think that. I mean, we've had this conversation a lot before, and I don't want to derail the Roper Report
It's
too much.
called Podcast Beyond, the conversational podcast.
But like
Some nerd somewhere is enjoying this crap.
Creative energy like fluctuates all the time, right? In every industry, and I think that maybe this is just a serious time of like change for Japan. I mean, because in the past couple of years they've been pulled in so many directions. Like people want to remember all the traditional stuff, so they're like, oh, stick with tradition. But then at the same time, there's other people who are like, oh man, tradition, like that's getting so old. You guys aren't innovating. And then they try and innovate, but there's such a traditional culture that they keep like wanting to go back to like the ways that they had before, and then it's this weird hodgepodge. I mean, that's basically why Final Fantasy 13 feels so weird, because they tried to make everyone happy, and in turn they didn't make everyone perfectly happy.
Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy 13 to me was a miss. And
everybody, you've talked about Final Fantasy 13 so many times on Podcast Beyond.
No, I know. I was just gonna say that Final Fantasy 13 was a miss to me, and that disappointed me because when I did see it and it just looked better than Final Fantasy 12, and it looked like it was gonna be more fun, and you can see that they're confused. Yeah, and I think with Dragon Quest IX, especially with what happened with Dragon Quest IX and the fact that game was basically remade because people gave them shit about what they were trying to do with it, I'm sure they are getting very mixed signals from the different groups of people that like to play their games or whatever. And obviously they're in a bind. It just sucks because they have such a great catalog of games and such a great catalog. Like, where's the new Brave Fencer Musashi game? Yeah. Where is like I said, the Final Fantasy 6, 7 remake? Where are the Dragon Quest collections? And
do those other like Brave Fencer Musashi, would that sell? I mean, yeah, sure. There is a small collection of people that would nowadays be like, oh man, I would love to see that game again. But is that like we're talking global? Like, how do they make money globally? I don't know if that's a big money maker globally.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just think that it wouldn't hurt to revive it and say like, look, we have this really crisp looking action RPG. Third-person action RPG that's like really fun, and it's an ode to this PlayStation game you might not have played, and put that on the PS as a PS1 classic and get people to play and do all these things. It's just, to me, it's just like they're always going big. It seems like, you know what I mean? And
go big or go home, Colin.
Well, I think that a lot of the times though their failures are brought into light more than their recent successes. And I think that they have made some smart decisions. And I mean, like I tell you guys all the time, and the Beyond Nation knows it. I mean, I still think like the two Dissidia games have been such phenomenal successes in terms of like showing what they can really do, like what they can do well. And sure, it's playing off a lot of my love for the Final Fantasy series, but still. And I think the company is lost, and I think that there is hope for them. It can either go two ways. They can find their way and get back on track, and maybe they'll recover from this difficult time, or maybe they won't. But gaming will continue.
Yes,
gaming will always continue, but not for some EA games. Number 6 on the Roper Report. Number 6 says EA has announced another round of server shutdowns that may affect some games you enjoy playing. Beginning on August 11th, servers for the following PS3 and PSP games will be shut down: Army of Two. I'm just going to name it. Army of Two Army of Two PS3.
Do you want me to do it?
Medal of Honor PSP. Medal of Honor Heroes 2 PSP. NASCAR 09 PS3, motherfucker. NCAA Basketball 10 PS3. NCAA Football 10 PS3. Need for Speed Undercover PSP. Skate PS3. And Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10 PS3 PSP. On October 1st, Madden 10 and NHL 10 PS3 will also be shut down. The games reportedly account for collectively under 1% of EA's server traffic. That's impressive. Neat. All right.
Yeah.
Number 7, according to the independent industry analyst EEDAR, they stole Eric Brudvig from us. Sony's Welcome Back program has been overwhelmingly successful, offering games like Infamous, Little Big Planet, Dead Nation, and Wipeout, quote, caused an increase in awareness and acquisition of titles where a newer iteration was available, end quote. Which 3 of the 4 titles offered on the PS3 have? I thought we were going somewhere else with that, sorry. Which 3 of the 4 titles offered on PS3 have? Additionally, Dead Nation caused a huge spike in searches for Dead Nation 2, a game which doesn't yet exist, parentheses, but one day hopefully will.
I know, wouldn't that be nice?
Now,
it's interesting. It's really interesting stuff, actually.
Colin.
Yeah.
We've talked about the fact that we're going to move in together. Knock on wood.
Yes.
Eventually, we'll find somewhere that we'll sign something one day that makes us live somewhere.
Yes.
We're close, ladies and gentlemen, and Colin's stressed out about it.
Yeah, I'm really stressed.
We're gonna be okay. When we do that, when are you gonna start helping me get through Dead Nation on hard so I can help get Dead Nation on grim for you?
Oh, so you want me to rub your back?
Yeah, exactly.
Scratch your back. I think is it rub your
it's
back?
killing you.
Scratch.
Scratch.
You
Well,
scratch
I'll rub your back. Though.
Or you guys
Yeah.
can just.
Can Mike Mitchell,
Or we go what?
can Mike Mitchell rub my feet while you scratch my back?
Sure,
All right.
whatever's.
This house is gonna be great.
Now I keep wanting to make really vulgar jokes, and I'm like, so Yoshida-san listens to this podcast and Colin's mom. That's why I keep
Hi, Colin's
thinking
mom.
of it.
Yeah.
Hello,
What's her name?
Bad news.
I'm gonna guess Jenny.
Her name is Betty Ann.
Damn it.
Betty
Close.
Ann.
Betty Ann.
That's a good
They sound
classic
alike.
name.
Yeah.
It does.
She's a good woman. But yeah, we're gonna live together. I actually want to take a family portrait as well. We'll put
Can we
it
do
on the
Christmas
wall.
cards like that? Can we
Yeah.
all get matching sweaters?
Yeah,
and
that
like
would
be-
Portillo can be in a matching sweater too?
Can I be the dog next to Portillo? Like I'm sitting on the floor, like next to Portillo, wearing a little sweater.
Okay, you can do that.
Is that okay?
We got to get a sweater for the cat.
Yeah, the cat too.
The cat will really like that, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
well, cats love being dressed. Everybody knows that. Number 8, in a funny little move, if you go to the URL www.modernwarfare3.com, it redirects you to www.battlefield.com. This is funny, of course, because Activision's game is going head-to-head with EA's game this fall. However, it's been revealed that this isn't something EA cooked up, but rather a fan of Battlefield who thinks Modern Warfare gets just a little bit too much love. There's no word There's no word yet on if Activision plans on doing anything about this or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. How did they not get that URL?
I don't know. I don't know how that slipped through.
I mean, when Modern Warfare 2 came out, this guy must have just immediately bought Modern Warfare 3. But even then, they have I'm not sure exactly how it works, but they think they have a right to that URL if it's a trademark.
It's the web. No rules out there.
There are no rules on the internet.
Nope.
That's true.
Yep.
Number 9, the upcoming PS3/Vita exclusive Dust 514 will require a buy-in to play along the lines of $10 to $20. Dust 514 will reportedly be available for free, but will require this initial buy-in that will translate to in-game credits. CCP's CEO Hilmar Velger revealed that the game may go free to play down the line. But in the meantime, we'll have this initial charge to get the MMO FPS off the ground. Dust 514 is set to come to the PSN in the spring of 2012.
Yeah,
That's
I
the best
actually didn't
news.
know that the plan was that game is going to be free. Like, you're going to be able to just download it.
Yeah.
But then there'll be that buy-in of $10 to $20. I thought it was a $60 game for some reason. I guess I was wrong.
No, you're fooled.
When we saw it at, they didn't really clarify that at the conference at E3.
No, because they had like 2 seconds to be
Yeah.
out there and say, "Here's our game. Now let's watch somebody play basketball." Good job, Jason.
Yeah, it run out of bounds.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Oh, it's so easy to play. Thank you. It's so easy to play. And Kobe ran right out of bounds. Developer can't make a pass.
Yeah,
It's a move.
works really well.
Do you think I could fit this microphone in my mouth?
No. I mean, can you squish it together? Like how hard? No, you
Don't-
can't get that in there. You can shove that whole thing in your mouth.
All right.
And rounding out the Roper report, back on July 8th, Naughty Dog and Sony revealed that over 1 million unique players had taken part in the Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception beta. Now that we're this far out from the announcement, I wonder how many people have played the game now.
Prediction: 1.5 million people.
You know what's funny? You are so behind on the news, goddammit, that you didn't know that was announced last night.
It wasn't on this. It wasn't on the site.
Yeah, because I'm not going to update that story. I'm not going to put a new story up every time 0.5 million people play. Yesterday on Twitter, Justin Richmond from Naughty Dog tweeted that they have now surpassed 1.5 million unique users.
So I was right.
Yeah,
Cool.
and you're a little Nostradamus over there, and you're just following in his footsteps.
I am, aren't I?
Tap, tap, tap-a-doo.
Jesus Christ.
Colin,
Yes.
we're going to move in together, and we're going to play games.
Yes.
But that's not happening yet. So while I cry myself to sleep right now, living without you,
Yeah.
what games could I play? Where would I go to find out what games are new?
You go to the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
The Great Flames of the Phoenix.
This is a good show today, ladies and gentlemen.
so good.
I'll
that?
tell
You
you
didn't
what,
try
guys.
it.
I love you both. I want you to know that. I love you guys,
Love you
fans
too.
out there, friends listening. You're the friends. I always screw that up, but you know what I mean. It's good to see you guys. Good to be back. Every morning I wake up, I got so much to do. I'm like, I don't want to do Beyond. I got so much to do. Then I get in here and just have a ball. Then I get out of here and just get yelled at for doing Beyond for an hour and a half. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm suffering from a nervous breakdown today. Let's read the games, shall we?
I can't wait for this all to be settled. But here's the problem, Colin.
Yeah.
We're going to get everything settled. We're going to have nothing to talk about because for literally the last 2 months, this is all I've talked about.
I know, man, but I'm
not mad at you. Shut up, bro.
I just need to know if this is going to go through or not, This is what happens in the morning when I wake up. All right, you ready? This has been the way it is since Colin has been very young. Colin gets up in the morning. And the first thing that comes to his mind is, what do I have to worry about today? And very rarely does my mind just go and I have nothing to worry about. Like, oh, I just got out of bed, like carefree. You know, whether it's nuclear war or whatever it is, I'm always worrying about something. So, I don't worry about nuclear war anymore.
I'm telling you, buddy. Just maybe consider you should talk to a therapist.
I will. I have.
I'm being okay. I was being serious. I wasn't trying to be.
I believe Mike Mitchell's cat is certified.
Okay. There
He's
you
a
go.
certified psychiatrist. He can prescribe me some meds.
Dr. Meowmers.
But anyway, I do get very nervous about things, and people that know me know that's like one of the things about people. It's like not you're on the creaky
We brought the
mansion chair.
WD-40 up here.
I don't know, whatever.
I don't know where it came.
Keep the show going.
All right, here we go.
So that's it.
I'm razzing.
All right.
Razzmatazz.
So let's do the IGN list,
Let's do it.
so I can go crawl in the corner.
Go. What's on the PS3?
So nothing on PSP, nothing on PS2. I was thinking that we'll eventually have Vita games to talk about, but nothing like that yet either. All right, there you go. All right.
I don't like how far this one leans back, but it's taller. I like that.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
So PS3 games only this week.
Okay, good.
So first thing is Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Special Edition is out. They didn't put trophies in it, so don't buy it. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter!
They stole my wand! Give me back my chocolate wand! That's a sneak preview of what's in the new movie.
He ate his wand.
I like your British accent. That's great.
There's a wand goblin! Get away from me!
Harry, you're in the shit. I've been watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares, the British version, and boy do I love.
Wait. Kitchen Nightmares, the British version of Gordon Ramsay's kitchen.
Kitchen Nightmares is an American show too, so I was just saying I've been watching the British version of the Kitchen Nightmares.
Okay.
Am I missing?
Okay. Everybody, cool.
And I was just gonna say I like the way like he says some things, like he always says, you know, fucking shit and fuck me and stuff like.
Oh,
Gordon
yeah.
Ramsay.
I love Gordon Ramsay.
He is so awesome.
Yeah, he
He's
really is.
Grow a pair of bollocks. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what do these words even mean? I don't even know.
Sarah, do you see this stew? My grandmother shits out stew better than this. That's my Gordon Ramsay.
That's good.
Yeah.
He was great. He's like, what I've noticed is that he's actually much nicer to people though than he is on the American version. It's like he came to the United States and he like really just fucking hates everyone.
Well, no, he doesn't. He just plays it up for the camera. I guarantee.
Because in
like
this one, he's like
in
a
the
little
kitchen.
more normal.
British Kitchen Nightmare starts with a very like he's just doing a normal introduction of like this failing restaurant. Whereas like the other time it's like ah.
He walks into some fucking Mexican restaurant in Michigan and he like kicks the door down. All right. NCAA Football 12,
Yes,
which you gave an 8.5.
8.5. Editor's Greg's Choice.
Greg's Choice Award. And the Resistance Dual Pack is out this week.
Editor's knapsack.
Editor's knapsack. All right. Before we switch gears here, conversational podcast, NCAA 11, which I'm saying is pick of the week. Well,
NCAA 12.
Yeah, sorry. Do you want to argue for Resistance as being pick of the week, or is they're old? You're fine with that?
No, I think Resistance Dual Pack is definitely my pick of the week. But I mean, you know.
Yeah, whatever. You can't go wrong. Both. How about we just say that? Both games.
Yeah, if you're looking for a new sports game, I mean, obviously I read your review, I proofed it for you, and it seems like you're going to get a great game, but you know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
If you haven't played Resistance and you're excited about Resistance 3 because we've had plenty of Resistance 3 coverage lately.
Yeah. Thanks, Colin.
Oh, you're welcome. And well, we'll get to that in a second. Then you want to play the shooters and you want all that stuff, the alien invasions and the chimera and stuff like that. Then you play, but then you play as that. But a few things. First of all, we got that build of Resistance 3. We didn't even know we were going to get it. We got it on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're not following on Wednesday, some people don't read IGN.com because they want us to go to business and not have jobs. Thanks for that. But if you'd like to go to IGN.com, we'd love it, and you'll find a nice, fat, and meaty Resistance 3 preview and video preview from Colin Moriarty.
Yeah, and so we got that. That was a really nice surprise. It threw me for a loop because I had to review Catherine. But we got through that. It's the first 4 hours or so of the game. So I kept playing the preview build, and I was like, man, this doesn't... I was like hoping it never ended. And then the game just crashed on me. So when I talked to Insomniac, I asked Marcus over at Insomniac, I'm like, so the build crashed and stuff. He's like, yeah, we just removed the cutscene there, so the game just doesn't know what to do next or whatever, and then it crashes. I'm like, oh, that's good. Well, I'm very excited to see more of that.
Good.
It is... I will say the preview is very spoiler heavy, and some people have been complaining to us that why are we doing spoilers and previews? Well, what else is there to really say about Resistance?
Yeah, we've talked about the guns and stuff before, like, you know.
And I'm not like putting you into this thing about like into this article, like lulling you in a false sense of security, and then suddenly I'm just giving you everything that happens. This is a huge spoiler warning at the top, so no one's forcing you to read it. And the video preview is safe. And one more thing, Greg.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Friday,
Yeah.
July 15th,
The 15th.
at 3 p.m. Pacific
3
time.
p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
You and I will be playing Resistance 3 live.
You're going to be playing it.
Well, I'll be playing. It'll be like what we did with Uncharted, but
Yeah.
vice versa.
Exactly.
And-
Naomi will be there. We're taking questions from folks on Twitter, so make sure you tweet at IGN with the hashtag Resistance3.
So if you want to see the first hour or so of Resistance
And you do.
3, and you definitely do,
Yeah.
then come check it out. We'll start from the opening cutscene, so there'll be a little bit of spoilers, but nothing you wouldn't get from the first 5 minutes of playing the game yourself. And then I will cut it off very abruptly when I'm supposed to, when Sony has asked me to.
Gotcha.
And that'll be fun. Maybe I'll die once or twice and embarrass myself. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's the internet. We always embarrass ourselves.
Everybody dies.
The Chimera are very wily in Resistance 3.
Yeah, they're gonna go.
And-
You think they're going right? They go left.
Yes, exactly.
the
The
AI
AI
that.
seems like much smarter than it was. It's so
He's joking.
it's so good. I'll tell you right now, that game just it looks so good. I hope the whole thing's as good as that preview build was.
Okay, I'm gonna try it out tonight.
Yeah, I'll give you my
You're
I'll give you
letting
my
me
copy.
try it out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go any further, though, Zach wrote into beyond at IGN.com again. Zach wrote into beyond at IGN.com with a question.
Greg, is that an email address?
That's an email address. That's where people like Zach should send questions. Zach started off, and I thought he was just going to be a ranting jerk, but he actually was very nice. And he asked, he basically he didn't agree with my NCAA review. He can't wrap his head around it. He says, I was a big fan of NCAA 11, and I sunk a huge amount of time into that. My friends still play Dynasties, etc., etc. I found my player, which is the Road to Glory, last year to be incredibly unrewarding, and for the same reasons you mentioned in this year's review. I was a 91 freshman running back by week 5. Granted, I haven't played this game, but from your review, it doesn't seem like a great recommendation to people who own last year's version. Gameplay largely untouched, a presentation bump, a scaling back of my player features, new coach contracts, and an untouched dynasty mode. As you said in your review, it's like a special edition of NCAA 11. To me, those points you made, in the tone of your review, do not correlate with the great score. I gave it an 8.5. In my mind, these small improvements do not deserve my money or your high score. Well, Zach, thank you for writing in with an intelligent question about it.
Yeah.
Writing a review is a hard thing, right? Because you have to try to balance everything you're saying. I was saying in my thing that while the gameplay can look untouched at times, I still think it's improved. I think the presentation bumps they put in there make the game a fresh enough experience to want to get. Even if I was on the outside and I already had 11 obviously. Now coming into 12, I'd want the new introduction of the players. I think the coaching carousel is really cool. I think the contracts is a really cool idea for dynasties. I'm very excited when things settle down a little bit to start a dynasty with my friends and do it where we all start off as offensive or defensive coordinators and try to track a career there. I think there's enough additions basically that it makes up for the fact that they didn't go crazy this year. You know what I mean? Like last year's game, Nate gave an 8.5, and I agree with that. And then coming into this year's game, they improved the stuff Nate complained about, but then, they're ignoring the stuff that he loved already. So, there's always, especially with an annual franchise, it's really hard sometimes to say what makes this game better than last year's. Because generally, with a good annual franchise, we'll just buy the most recent version. Like somebody asked me about SmackDown on GameScoop the other week. I was like, I don't know, just buy the most recent one if that's your cup of tea.
This is a football game, right?
Yes. I don't like this. You know stuff. You always do this. People are like, oh my gosh, yeah, I threw the touchdown. You're like, I don't know what any of those words mean. You know what you means. You know what you means.
You?
Yeah.
You? The word you?
Oh my gosh.
The letter.
Just making noise too.
No. I actually this time I did not know because I don't know what NCAA stands for.
Oh, okay.
What does it stand for?
I want you to guess.
Okay. The National Championship of Athletic Agents. The Norwegian
National Collegiate Athletics Association, I believe.
Okay.
And NCAA is for everything, not only football.
Oh.
So Northeastern's excellent hockey team is also part of NCAA.
Okay. But is NCAA a football game specifically?
Well, there was NCAA March Madness. I mean, it's just collegiate. That just means sports.
NCAA March Madness is basketball.
Got it.
Yeah.
This is called NCAA football.
Anything you put NCAA in front of means it's a college blank.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm there.
All right, good. Speaking of being there,
I
if
do know a
wanted to
touchdown is football, by the way.
download things in my head. What games came out on the PSN this
The
month?
future.
Week, day, tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes.
This week we saw a bunch of stuff, including, Greg, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood now available for full download.
I enjoy that game.
Yeah, $39.99. Also, very exciting demos this week. For those that don't already know, Catherine is available
Booyah!
for download. I hear it's pretty darn good.
I think that's going to be topic of the week because we had a lot of Catherine questions come in.
Yes.
So we'll stuff that in our hat for a
Yes.
second.
All right, I guess a hat makes that noise.
That's an
huh?
interesting hat.
Pixel Junk Shooter 2 online battle demo. I guess it's an online battle demo. That's all you need to know. Also, Dead Nation demo. I could have sworn there's a Dead Nation demo already.
Well, now they know it's super popular.
No,
so.
demos like to come out on PlayStation Network 6 to 8 months after a game comes out.
After the game comes out, right. And then PSP Minis.
Yay!
There's only one.
Oh.
For the very reasonable price of $5.99.
Good, very good.
You can download Mighty Flip Champs DX.
So it's as expensive as like Critter Crunches. That's very good.
Now, connect that mini to IGN Go. Ding, donk, dink, donk, dink, donk,
What?
ding, donk. Mark Bozon and his brother designed that one.
No way.
Yeah, that's
Did
it.
you-
It came
did you
on a
tell them
DS
it's way
forever
too
ago.
expensive?
No,
right.
they had no. Bozon is the one who reached out to me on AIM. It's like, hey, that game finally came out because it's been on DS forever.
Okay, got it.
And so then it was like, because his brother works. I'm gonna screw this up. Not Way Forward, is that right?
No,
Yeah, they
I
work
think
at
That's
Way
right.
Forward.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So it's Way Forward that put it out.
Yes.
Those are the guys that are doing
Bozons.
Those are the guys that are doing the Blood Rain game that looks really dope. That's coming out soon.
Yes.
And they did A Boy and His Blob.
And Shantae.
And Shantae.
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 All right,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
Thanks.
That about covers it. The PSN report done. Jeff Rubenstein got the mini out.
Rubenstein over.
I think we're straight to Colin.
Yes.
A long time ago, we had a ROM on here.
We did.
And from
Wasn't
Atlas,
that long ago.
From Atlas.
And he wasn't on this podcast, was he?
Oh, right, yeah. We recorded this and we realized it was really good.
To the J, to the
Anyways, we've been excited for Catherine forever. You finally played it and reviewed it. Tell me about it.
Catherine is a first-person shooter.
No, that's resistance.
No.
Yeah, Catherine is a really unique game from Atlas's Persona team. And this would be their first go on the HD systems. And it's very good. It's a puzzle game / dating game. It's a game you really can't describe. I mean, that was kind of the thing Aram was saying when he was on GameScoop with us.
Yeah.
And I gave it a 9.0 and an Editor's Choice Award because it is very, very good.
Folks, go read Colin Moriarty's review of Catherine at IGN.com because I read it last night, late in the evening, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
It was just generally speaking, I think, a very fun review to read.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Very well
appreciate
said. You're welcome.
it. Yeah, I mean, it's like a really difficult game to describe. You know, because it's just the point of the review and what really makes it stand out is that it's so different, and there's never really been a game like this before, and that in itself is really refreshing. But the fact that the game's actually really well executed and does very few things wrong means that it's even better than, you know, a shooter that's really good, for instance, because you've really never played anything like this before. And
I can't wait.
Like I was telling Greg, and like it's really difficult for me to I guess, you know, think about everything I played in totality this year because we play so many games, but it might be my favorite game of the year. You know,
Funny
I know we were. Oh, I'm sorry.
Question. Nick Hess, beyond at IGN.com. He says, hey guys, sorry I'm a week late, but I didn't see your message until now. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't
But
know what that
whatever.
means either.
Quick fire question. Resistance 3, Catherine, or Uncharted 3 for Game of the Year?
Well, I don't know. I mean, now that I played, we've basically played all three of them in some capacity.
Yeah.
I think Resistance is going to be very appealing, but I've only played Catherine all the way through.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that Catherine blew me away. I expected that I was going to like it. We had played it and kind of messed with it and watched a lot of videos, and we had the import version of it and stuff. But when you can really appreciate what's going on in the cutscenes and the dialogue and really get to know the characters and stuff like that, what you realize is that the game's just really well executed. I really think this is a game. A lot of people were saying that, like, I'm not into puzzle games, so why did I review this game? Or, you know,
What?
that I don't
you
play.
love shit like that. What are they
Well,
talking
I'm not.
about?
I have.
Gear wrote into
oh,
Beyond
okay.
at IGN.com and said, I was surprised to see Colin review this game, considering from what I've heard on the podcast, he's not that into anime and dislikes puzzle games. Don't get me wrong, I respect Colin's opinion. I was just wondering why he reviewed the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like huge into puzzle games, and some of them frustrate me, and I'm not very good at them. I mean, I've been pretty candid about that. You know,
Oh, thank God. If you can get through Catherine, then maybe I stand a chance.
yeah. I mean, Catherine is tough. I mean, that is a tough game, but for some reason, it made sense to me. Like a game like Portal doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Oh.
And I always talked about what's the
Well, then we have a problem because Portal makes total sense to me, but I don't think Catherine's going to make sense to me.
like I remember playing the original. I never played Portal 2, but I remember playing the original Portal and getting half an hour into it, maybe. I mean, that's not a long game. That might be even too far. Playing with Mark Ryan, I'm like, I don't really even know what to do next. And he's like, you gotta, like, I just don't think like that, I guess. And so, but with this game, it's very visual in the sense that all the pieces are there, and you just need to, you know, you're working against the clock, but you need to figure out how you're going to get through the puzzle in time. And the entire idea is moving these blocks around to make a tower up. And you can screw yourself up really badly. But the game is toned back a little bit from the Japanese difficulty, which was so difficult that Atlas actually patched the game when it was out in Japan to make it easier. And there's an ability to use the select button, which wasn't available on normal mode in the Japanese version,
What is the select button?
to take your moves back. So because once you make
Go
because
back
once you
a step.
because once you make a move, you can, and if you couldn't use it, I use the select button probably thousands of times in the game, because if you would have to start the entire puzzle over again, that would immediately make the game too frustrating. But otherwise, I mean, it's just a really novel game. There's a lot in it. You really care about the characters, and you're really eager to see more of the story, which makes you want to get through the puzzle sequences. It makes the puzzle sequences frustrating sometimes because you're just so fucking desperate to see the next cutscene. You know what I mean? But
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
it's a great game. We have copies of it. We have retail copies. Which is a special set.
I'm borrowing one this weekend. Don't forget.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, if you'd like to get back to the effing question,
Yeah, I'm
Nick
sorry.
Hess would like to know Game of the Year: Resistance, Catherine, or Uncharted.
Well, all right. So I played.
No one's holding you to this prediction.
I know, but
this isn't your real vote.
But I haven't played Uncharted single player yet at all, and Resistance I've only played the first 7 chapters, and who knows how long that game is. I think Resistance is going to appeal to me more in that realm of Game of the Year voting, but Catherine is definitely a contender right now. And so far, I mean, Infamous 2 is great. Mass Effect 2 obviously came out in the beginning of the year, but I don't really count that.
That's not going to count. Yeah.
So I would say Catherine is probably the best game of the year so far for me. And it's definitely the game to beat. And if anything, I'm like I said, I think in the review or maybe the video review somewhere, is that I hope developers are paying attention. Because what we were talking about with Square Enix is really interesting because a Japanese developer did this.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
And so it shows that not only can they still innovate, that industry still innovate, which is really looked at as a stagnant industry, but they can out-innovate the West if only they try to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a game that really Western developers never would have thought of. And while it's not overly Japanese, it's certainly quite Japanese. You know what I mean? So, but it's really good, and I'm really excited for people to finally play it. It comes out in a couple weeks. Definitely keep your eye out for it. At least rent it, give it a go. And don't let the puzzles frustrate you too much. And really get involved in the story, because the story is really interesting. I really like the characters.
Now I'm going to throw this out there, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with me.
All right, you picking one? Because he wants your pick too for Game of the Year.
Oh.
Out of those 3, what do you pick?
I'm going to enjoy playing Resistance more because I'm better at shooters than I am puzzle games. But I think there's something special about Catherine, so we'll see.
What about Uncharted? You disqualifying Uncharted from your team? That's what he's asking.
Yeah, I didn't
it's a
even think about
3-pronged
it.
question.
Oh.
There's 3 choices. I'm picking Uncharted.
Yeah, I don't know. Can I just kill
All right,
myself
fine.
instead?
Sure. Wow. Okay. Sure. You can take that.
Can't
pill.
even. Anyway, all right. Here's what I'm throwing out
All right.
there.
Here, throw
Ready,
it
guys?
out. Throw it
Ready?
out. Do go back to that.
Ready?
Yeah. Do the voice you're doing. I like that. Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna
Throw
do.
it out. All right.
I'm gonna say
All right.
Catherine with a K, way hotter than Catherine with a C.
Catherine with a K is the blonde, right?
No, Catherine with a K is his girlfriend. Catherine with a C is the blonde girl,
right,
and you're
right,
absolutely out of your mind.
No, I'm
Both of them
not.
are very cute.
I've only watched cutscenes, and I got to go with the blonde girl too.
She's intentionally made more alluring in dress and in pose.
Yes.
But that doesn't discount. Like, I mean, you put Catherine with a K in the same outfits, the same poses and alluring.
I don't like her hair.
qualities. I think her hair is cuter.
There you go. Well, that's
and
the problem.
I like her glasses.
I like the glasses.
And she's kind of got the like businessy edge to her. I think it's very
I'm
attractive.
Well, I guess you're gonna have some decisions to make in the game.
I'm
And
gonna-
that's-
I can't wait.
And that's certainly another thing about the game is that the game has replay value. You are making choices throughout the game, and it affects the outcome.
And I love how it gives you the poll answers as to like what men and women made the decision.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so there's so many aspects of the game and so artfully put together. I'm really impressed with the game. I was much more impressed with it than I thought. I knew it was going to be a good game because of what we saw and what we played and stuff. I knew this game was going to be novel, but man, like it was really, really good. I'm excited for everyone to get their hands on it. I'm sorry our review went up so early. You have to wait a couple weeks.
Nick Hess is the guy who wrote in with the question about the Game of the Year. He also finished by asking if he could be a Clement super fan.
Absolutely.
All right, so you go ahead and doctor him right now.
Nick Hess, welcome to the order.
He's just
that
like
was great.
he's like in a golden light floating around his house while he listens.
That was great.
Harris Foster,
Yeah.
friend of the show, big GameScoop fan too. He writes in, as I played the Catherine demo, I noticed a watermark for the Golden Playhouse was at the top left corner of the screen during most of the game. When I tried researching it, I found nothing. Could someone, Colin, explain to me what the Golden Playhouse is?
Yeah, so in the game, I don't want to get too deep into what with the game, but basically, that watermark just appears, in certain cutscenes and in I guess to differentiate between certain parts of the game. So I don't want to be too detailed about it.
When
It's
you
a
play
fictional. It's a fictional thing.
Yeah,
It's not
basically, there's a fictional intro with like a pretty awesome Japanese rap song over it and stuff like that, and it's like introducing all the characters, very Metal Gear like almost, and some other games do it. And then that kind of differentiates between I guess Vincent's real life and cutscenes and dreams and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I don't know like what that literally means. I don't know if that's ever explained, to be honest.
Well, I think that sets it up. I mean, as long as it's just something. When you play the game, it should make sense, Harris Foster. Hopefully.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna play it this weekend. I'll let you know if it makes sense.
There's like a woman that introduces the story. That might even be in the demo. Of Catherine, and that's when you first see it. And I assume that that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Leo has another Catherine question for you here, Colin.
Okay.
Just read and watched Colin's review of Catherine, and I was wondering if there's a Japanese language option. The game looks great, but I'm a little put off by the voice acting. Thanks and beyond.
There isn't Japanese voice acting, and to me that's fine. I mean, I talked to Aram about it at Atlas, who's our friend who was on here. He's the PR guy over there, and I think that there was so much dialogue in the game that it would have had to actually been compressed, which would have been a problem, especially on the Xbox version of the game. Because the Xbox version of the game is already apparently heavily compressed. And as at the time of talking about this, I haven't even reviewed the Xbox version yet. I still have to play it. So I think that's one of the problems. And I think you haven't heard much of the voice acting, but I think the voice acting is actually really good in the game. It's very, people say I don't like anime, and that's true. I don't really like anime anymore, but my brother's an animator, and I did grow up watching a lot of anime, and I know a lot about anime from back in the day. And the voice acting has always been a little over the top, the English dubs and stuff like that, and maybe didn't fit very well. And this is kind of the same, but I think it works. I think it actually brings out the personality of each character, I think, pretty well. It's certainly not the best, but
I thought it sounded great, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I've heard looks great.
And the soundtrack also magnificent, magnificent soundtrack.
Get that special edition comes with the soundtrack, right?
Yep, it does.
There you go.
Awesome music in that game. Yeah.
Clements, how long have we been going for?
Greg, we've been going for about 50 minutes.
Why the fuck are there so many laptops on the table?
They all do something different.
Yep.
They allow now we can take phone calls.
Oh, okay.
We can Skype with people.
Yep.
And this is the old one.
Oh, okay.
This one's for porn. All right. That's the end of Toe. Catherine's good. You should buy it. We're all very excited to play it. Now let's get to some reader mail.
Reader mail.
Mail call. Maelstrom. Chainmail. Remember, if you want to be part of the show, beyond at IGN.com. Follow us on the Twitter, too. I'm at GameOverGreggy. Colin's at No Taxation. Ryan is at Pwam Cider.
Also, you can find us elsewhere.
Facebook, Google+.
Yeah, the Google+.
Use the Google+ now. We're all moving over to that now. You can find me at, it's gplus.2/GameOverGreggy.
Yes.
Yeah, what's yours?
gplus.2/Ryan Clements.
All right, cool. And Colin, you on
No,
this?
I'm not on it yet.
You hate Google.
Yeah, it's gonna take some prodding to get me on that.
Okay. Well, let's start off with some well wishes. How about that?
Okay.
Knighted Colin Moriarty superfan Jonathan writes in. He says, Beyond, I just wanted to wish Colin and Ryan congratulations on their 4-year IGN anniversary coming up on the 16th.
Thank you.
I was recently listening to old episodes of Beyond, and they mentioned it. Keep on beyonding.
4 years ago.
That's actually very special to me, and I'm hoping to treat Colin to a drink or something.
Yeah,
this
we'll do it
weekend.
on Saturday. Yeah. And it's too bad Geddes isn't here because Geddes also he's still.
We should give him a call at least and see what he's doing.
He's still with baby right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just down there. Kid was wearing overalls.
Oh,
Looks just like his dad. No
Adorable.
hair, skinny. Matt writes in. I sent a Beyond to Greg the other day on PSN, and to my surprise, I got a response which I think was awesome. So I was just wondering, how often do you guys receive random Beyonds from people on the PSN? Do you always send out replies? And do you have a lot of recognition throughout the online PlayStation community? I get Beyonds all the time.
Yeah, I get a lot of
emails all the
messages.
time. I get a lot of PSNs that say, just checking trophies. Because that's the easy way to do that or whatever. I was very impressed with the Uncharted beta. There was one night where I was playing. Usually I play with Scott Lowe, but there was one night where I was all by myself and I had mics on. And I joined a random match and I just went Beyond, and I got like 3 back. And then there was one too where we were playing and it was me and Scott Lowe has IGN in his name, Gonzo-IGN, everybody, or underscore, I can't remember, one of the two. And this kid started flipping out when he put it all together. He's like, what? You guys work for IGN? Oh my god! It was great. So no, we're very, very blessed and very, very lucky, and feel incredibly privileged to get the recognition we get from you guys. So thank you for being our friends and caring.
Definitely, yeah. And I get a lot of messages, and I tend to answer. I answer pretty much all of them, but I do it like once a month. I'll just answer them all at one time. And I do appreciate you guys reaching out to me. And I've been kind of cooking up a little scheme in my head in which I will be purging some people from my list, and we'll have a new contest. And what I think it's going to be, although I haven't had the rules down pat yet, and so don't do anything yet.
All the Code Fu kids
listeners.
are walking by.
But definitely, it's going to have something to do with Podcast Beyond in terms of what are you looking at?
I'm watching all the Code Fu kids. Some of these Code Fu kids are big Beyond people, so they're going to listen to this show later today and be like, oh my God, he saw us.
I saw him walking in the hallway. I'm going to look real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, you see them? Looking at them all walking in their Code
they're
Fu
walking
things.
around. So I think the rules, Greg, are going to be that I'm going to maybe 1 week soon, maybe a podcast 200, podcast beyond 200, is say everyone that's on my list must email
Oh my goodness.
beyond@ign.com within a certain time frame, letting us know that you listen to this podcast. If you're not a Podcast Beyond listener, then you're not going to be on the list anymore.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That is. It's.
I mean,
it's
cool.
unprecedented.
I'm cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. I'm down with that. Don't get me wrong. One bit.
Because I want to connect to the most ardent Podcast Beyond listeners on PSN, and we get so many messages being like, "Why can't I be on your PSN list? Do you have room for us?" And we don't. We just don't have room, but
Exactly.
we want to make room. And so some people have just been on the list. I don't even know who they are. Granted, I know who a lot of the guys are that are on the list.
I find it very hard to eliminate people when it's time. Well, usually when I meet somebody new in the industry or a developer or somebody who wants to be on my list and I have to go through and delete somebody, I scroll all the way down and I do the weak thing what you do with randoms, or you do it for everybody.
Right.
But like there's people on my list, like I know that like, you know, Geddes is on there and he rarely turns on his PS3, but I like having him on there. Like so I will go all the way to the bottom and then I start working up through the people I know and then I start getting to like people, even fan friends that I know, and then it's really hard to figure out how to eliminate.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more difficult. I mean, there's a few guys on my list. I don't want to say a few. There's probably a dozen or so on the list that have been with me since the very beginning that I really don't want to get rid of.
Squid Crumb Bum.
Squid Crumb Rum, yeah. Well, there's like a lot of guys like Mick P has been on my list for a long time. I know he's on your list too, and like a few other guys. And then there are guys that like have been on my list and then have been off and then back on. Like Ninja XYZ was one of those guys.
Yeah.
He obviously works at Sanzaru,
Which I did not know. But he's the guy I want everyone, not that anyone cares probably, but he won the PSN 25 code or whatever, like for the top 25 PSN games. He's the dude that won it. And when I gave it to him, I had no idea that he was the dude from Zanzaru.
Yeah, I mean,
not that it matters, whatever. I mean, it's my code to give away, I'll do what I want. But there was no funny business. So when you see me getting fat Sly 4 exclusives, I guess the coming left.
But yeah, so there's gonna have to be a new system because I want to, and like I've said before, I have my cousins on there, my cousin Jan, and he's like in his early 20s and actually owns a restaurant and stuff like that. And he only plays like Black Ops and Madden, and he's been on for like years, but he's only like level 4 or level 5 or whatever. But I don't want to get rid of him because he's like my family and
Yeah,
You guys can get rid of me if you need space.
No, I wouldn't do that. And obviously, Pear's on the list, and
Yeah.
like he's never gonna go anywhere, and like a few other guys like Hillary's still on the list and stuff. But the fact of the matter is, like, no one really plays PS3 like as their first console at IGN, except for the three of us, and so it's not that hard in terms of fellow employees and like colleagues and stuff like that to get rid of. So I want to make as much room as possible, I guess is what I'm saying. So I will spring soon. Don't freak out yet, readers.
That's what I want to point out. If I can, you've made a good case here for what you're doing. I'm excited for it. I enjoy it quite a bit. And we're talking about, do we respond to every message? I try to respond to every message. I get quite a few. And the problem I find is that usually what happens when I get there in the morning, it takes 3 years for our horrible computers to turn on. So that's when I turn on my PS3 and I have the keyboard there and I can answer all your questions, and that's when it's easy. However, it never fails that I'll have to get a save off of it first thing in the morning. So 7 in the morning, I'll turn on my PS3, and when that happens, it downloads all the recent messages. If you don't have multiple PS3s, how it works is whatever PS3 you turn on, it downloads those messages, and then you turn it off, you go to another PS3, it doesn't re-download those messages. So I start getting these random threads of PS3 messages. So when I get home at night and I just want to play, and I have an hour to play Uncharted, I see all these messages and I can't answer. I don't even see them. I don't answer them. I also, if you're ever wondering, I have all my notifications off because we have so many friends on PSN and so many messages come. It got to be super annoying that it was just flashing all the time. Something was happening, especially when you're watching Netflix. So there's a lot of things that get put in there and don't get responded to. And if you don't ask a question, if you don't say beyond, you don't get a response generally. The people who write in are like, delete someone to add me to your list. I'm like, I don't respond to that. That's mean. I don't do that. And then that's not how it works.
I do respond to those. I'm just like, I'm sorry, there's no room on my list, but thank you for writing it.
If you say beyond, I give you back a beyond. But some people do that. Add me to your list, beyond. I'll go beyond. They go, what about the list? And I don't respond to that. No.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. So not next week because Clements will be flying the ship by himself next week because we'll be at Comic-Con.
We'll be rocking the cons.
But the week after, that's episode 199.
Oh my God, it's so
actually
close. We got to actually plan something.
I will announce the plan then. How's that?
Sounds good.
Can I also jump in on this bandwagon real quick?
Please do.
The absolute easiest way to contact me is through Twitter because I check Twitter. Like, it's very easy.
Agreed.
I think Twitter is just easy to check.
Yeah.
Because they're concise messages.
Exactly.
They all stream through to you directly to you. So if you want to get in touch with me, I am always available, and I try and respond as much as possible to Twitter stuff. So that's Plum Cider.
But in that same vein, though, I love that exclusivity the PS3 brings. Like, I
for
like
sure.
that's how we talk to people, too. And don't get me wrong, I try to respond on Twitter, but Twitter's the same thing, too. A lot of people say, just give me statements on Twitter, and I don't respond to that necessarily. I see everyone. If you tweet at me, I see your tweet eventually, probably, most likely. I do. We all tend to get a lot, and they tend to push things down. But
And I would also like to say that I'm trying to make a huge push for not only for my IGN interaction, like I've been actually trying to monitor my wall, which I haven't done in a long time, and respond to all your
Too many social
messages there. But I'm actually a big fan of Google Plus, and I have been making like a serious effort to be interacting with you guys on Google Plus. So find me there, and let's have fun conversations.
cool. It's easy to find all of us. Game Over Greggy for me on everything. Plum Cider or Ryan Clements. No Taxation or Moriarty-IGN.
Yes,
That covers it. On
That's
how
it.
to find everybody. All right.
Correct.
the social networks, and now we are at an hour mark. sir.
Holy shoot. Okay, here you go. Here's an easy one. Sean writes into you and me, Ryan.
Oh,
This is
hello.
this is just a random topic / question aimed at Greg and Ryan, which I'm sure Colin has no difference towards. I imagine that the next Mortal Kombat will be another DC crossover that will probably play and look similar to this year's Mortal Kombat. It only makes sense, and I can't really imagine what else they would do. So, how interested would you be? Sean, I guarantee you that you will not see another Marvel versus DC.
Mortal Kombat versus DC.
That's true. Sorry, Mortal Kombat versus DC for sure this generation, let alone probably ever.
Yeah,
But who knows?
I mean, severely unlikely that will happen.
That was the whole push for this one. Is that it's like we're finally back to real Mortal Kombat. We can really do fatalities. We can kill people and tear them apart and do X. And they couldn't do that in Marvel or Mortal Kombat versus DC.
The next I can look. Here's my official prediction. Here we go. Podcast Beyond episode 197. I'm seeing into the future. The next Mortal Kombat will just be a updated, tweaked version of the current one with a larger roster, adjusted move set, and all the usual enhancements you would see in a small leap in a fighting game. And it will continue the story from the first Mortal Kombat now that history has been altered. There you go.
I like altered history.
I can guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Well, I can't actually guarantee it, but I'm like really putting it out there.
I guarantee it.
All right.
Men's Warehouse guy. We should start that. We should do
God,
that
I
one.
love that dude. We talked about that
He
a
seems
long
like
time ago,
he
right?
seems like the most honest man ever. Like
You're
you
gonna like the way you look. I
guarantee
guarantee
it.
it.
I'm like, damn, I kind of believe you. I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go to Men's Warehouse. He looks like a nice
George
guy.
Zimmerman.
Is that what his name is?
I'm pretty sure.
George
That's right.
Zimmerman.
That sounds right.
He just looks like a nice guy. Like I just feel
Yeah,
like
he
if I
does.
saw him in a restaurant, I could walk up and be like, man,
He looks like a younger version of the Dos Equis guy.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh my God!
I don't always
Greg,
drink beer.
I think you're onto something. The Dos
Time
Equis
travel.
guy is just time traveling.
Yep.
We remember we were talking about that in the car. Like I love those Dos Equis commercials.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. But they started to defy reality to the point of where it doesn't actually make sense.
he finds
Like,
squirrels untrustworthy.
yeah, like originally it was like when he passes, a woman will look at him and not the other way around. And it was like, oh yeah, that totally makes
Oh
sense.
yeah,
It's like-
I like that one.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a Dos Equis.
yeah, makes total sense, right? But then they're like, objects in his mirror appear exactly as they are. And, I'm like, you can't do that. Like,
I like
that's not
that. That's a good
physically
one.
possible.
I've been toying with the ideas. You guys know because you get to see me that I come in with these papers and I have a million questions on them,
Right.
and then we get to now where I have to choose one.
Right.
I thought about maybe answering them in the Beyond article. We
Okay.
could post you didn't make the cut, but here's your answer, which I like. But then we're also gosh darn busy. It doesn't make sense. So here's some rapid fire ones that are easy. Chad had written in asking about the Uncharted 3 beta. He was wondering if we end up saving a lot of stuff we don't need to. His example was that he still had the Uncharted 2 beta in his things eating up space.
No, I delete stuff.
No, I'm kind of a hoarder, so sometimes I collect.
It's one of those things I don't think about. Like yesterday, I was going through and I found like the Mod Nation Racers beta, and there I was like, well, I can get rid of that. So only when I run out of space or worry about it do I worry about it. CJ wrote in wanting, hey, had comicsology questions for me. So yeah, I will say the Batman Arkham Asylum exclusive digital comics. These are the 99-cent ones that I did a Robin article about yesterday. They're interesting enough. They're only $1. And then the actual book Arkham Asylum, I'm enjoying quite a bit. So those are cool. I would get those. He also asked about instability of the comicsology app. I had a big problem where it wasn't like, how usually it's a very seamless experience of scrolling through pages, and it got to where it would just hang and not move the pages. And it turned out I just went in and deleted a whole bunch of books I didn't need anymore because I had like 4 gigabytes of comics there, and it was like that was causing the app to run like crap. So I went through, deleted them, and when the best thing about it is when you delete them, I still have them showing there, so that if I'm ever like, oh, I really want to read that Action Comics, I can just click on it and download it again for free. It's right there as long as I have Wi-Fi or whatever.
Cool.
Arnold, no, your German copy of Infamous 2, the save will not work when you come back to the U.S. You will not get trophies that way. So, no, that does not work. And that was our rapid fire. Rounding it out before we get to the dumbass of the week. Yeah, I already told this kid he was getting yelled at, too. Thomas writes in, says, are you guys excited for Rage? It seems they've slipped under the radar, but it looks fantastic. What are your opinions of the game? I'll start off, no, not excited for Rage, and I know I get hell for this all the time from Colin.
Yeah, I think Rage looks awesome. I think Rage looks really fun.
Right there with Colin.
Man, it just looks like another first-person shooter where I have no voice.
Y'all crazy.
It looks pretty. It looks really pretty, but...
I don't know. It needs a motherfucking eye drops up in
All right,
here.
It's an id game,
No,
bro.
I'm not saying you have to rush. I'm saying
No, I know. But we're still
my,
wrapping
my
up.
eye is
Don't
all
cry.
like,
It's because you love Rage so much.
I do.
You're
I
tearing
love
up.
it so much.
Rage and Doom.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rage is gonna be well received. It's gonna do well, but I'm not blown away to the point of super excitement.
Just a Carmack joint, bro.
I know. Well, maybe I'll see
That
something
dude
one day.
codes in his fucking dreams.
Oh my god.
I hear funny stories about like how they get like how he's so crazy about the engines that he like if the game is running at like 59.5 frames a second he'll like tweak it and make sure it runs at like 60 frames. Something like that.
That's awesome. I love that. Perfectionist, man.
Okay.
Okay.
That was Reader Mail. Beyond.ign.com. Come be a part of the show. Beyond.ign.com. It's super easy. Follow us on Twitter at GameOverGreggy, at No Taxation, at Poem Cider. Follow us on Google Plus. Ryan Clements. Game Over Greggy. Colin is.
Don't follow me on Google
Yeah,
Plus.
don't do that. You can find him on Facebook. Find IGN on everything I just mentioned. It's usually just IGN. Easy enough to do. Go to my IGN. Follow us there too. You can click on our articles on IGN.com, which you should be reading because if you don't, we'll be out of business one day.
Yeah.
I think I covered everything.
Also, Beyond 200.
Yeah, what? I'm ready.
I
Where
thought
are
you
you
were
going?
going to say, oh, yes, of course. I send out I think we pretty much are all caught up on invites.
Clements
so.
is a golden god, everybody. I got out of it maybe 25. Hey, you've been accepted to come to the show. And then Clements realized that I was just drowning in work, and he came over and did the rest. So he is my golden god. I love him very much.
You're very welcome.
If you got one of those, congratulations. You have a spot reserved to the show. Like I said, I gave you the date. I gave you a vague time period. We will get you official deets coming up. If you are trying to be hangers-on and just come to the show, crash it, don't do that. We have a very specific list with names on it, and the location is still not announced. So don't try to just crash it. We're going to try to live stream it. I need to talk to Hashtag about that, but for sure it'll go up in audio form. Remember, you come to the show, we're going to hang out. We may have some surprises. Of course, we'll have some surprises.
Yes.
Then we're going to go out and get some drinks.
We have some
if you're
surprises.
Of age.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited. Guys, I got to say, Beyond Nation, if there's one boy in this room that's excited for it, and we all are, I am very excited for it.
Okay.
Extremely.
I can't wait.
Very much.
It's going to be a fun show.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, dumbass of the week. That's a little harsh. But this email cracked me up, and it's from a Beyond friend, so here it comes. This is from George Williams. You might remember George Williams. He is the one who sent in his favorite quote from the infamous spoiler cast, and then won the 2 Cole statues. But he's not happy. He writes, "Hey guys, I've been trying to get a hold of you for the last few weeks. Now, so as to find out what's happening with the infamous 2 statues of good and bad Cole that I won."
Can you do the reader voice?
No, because he's not a bad reader.
Oh, okay.
It's just there's some miscommunication here that I won on Podcast Beyond number 194. So far, I've had no emails back from you, but I have had a reply from Colin Moriarty via my IGN, who said to drop you guys another email to remind you. So this is me once again reminding you, and this time I'm leaving my postal address as well. George Williams. What is your effing problem? Yes, this is what we've been waiting for. I can't email you the statues. We knew you won. All you had, I said in the thing, I think, send us your address. That was it.
Also, all right. So also, there's another problem with this. Is that he lives in Europe. Now,
yes.
now,
Again, I thought we covered this, but apparently we didn't.
No, we certainly have covered it.
So I don't know if we're gonna make an exception for this, but from now on, and we will not reiterate it again.
Again, international listeners, we love you so much. Thank you for being part of the show. Thank you so many of you that we are coming to Beyond 200, which is insane. You all have too much money. However, Colin and I are average Joes who can't figure out how to move into a place in their own city, let alone mail you a package outside of the country. We have a mailroom, and there's global slips there, but there's a lot of questions, a lot of hoops to jump through to get you.
And obviously our company pays for this, so we're not. Here's the rule from now on: if anything has to cross an international border or an ocean, it's no longer going to be sent. So if you are not in the 48 continental United States, then I'm sorry, you cannot win.
And it's not that we're not trying to be jerks, and we are lazy. That is part of it, but it's not the defining reason. You know what I mean? Clements, back me up here. We try. God, how we tried.
Oh, yes.
But it's just like, yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like, I wish Beyond was my only job, and we could just do cool stuff for Beyond all day. We have to provide results. Got to get stuff out there.
Yep.
So,
Got to keep the site afloat.
George, we're gonna try. I will try to get you this thing, but that's it. Your last trying of international thing ever. If you hear me down the road, ladies and gentlemen, giving away coal statues at Beyond 200, you know what has happened.
I would like to say, by the way, that it is not uncommon for contests that occur in the United States. Listen to all the fucking fast talk and small text. They're always like, it's only for United States residents.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like us being jerks. This is common.
And I don't think anybody's super offended,
Right.
but I do understand that it sucks. I do, and I understand when we give away codes that are U.S. only, that sucks too, but...
Yeah, I mean, these are the materials we have been provided as a business in the United States. But I love all our international folks.
I love all
as
our
Greg has said.
listeners, yeah.
I love the fact that people listen to us from around the world. It is touching.
Speaking of loving one another, come give me, Colin, IGN, Damon Hatfield, Rich a lot of love at San Diego Comic-Con. Remember, Thursday through Saturday, there's the IGN Oasis, 10 to 5, every day at the Hard Rock Hotel. Then Thursday at 5 p.m. in 7AB, it's the Resistance panel hosted by He Only Does Everything, Colin Moriarty. Saturday from 4 to 5 at the Oasis is, in fact, the IGN meet and greet. From there, we're going to go do something fun, probably get really mad at some bartender for not serving 100 people we bring. And then that's not right. Friday, that's wrong. And then Sunday, 10 a.m. Starhawk panel with me, Greg Miller, 25.
Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm just picturing the Starhawk transforming.
Ryan Clements.
Yes.
Put down your RC Cola. Take me home.
That was the putting down of the RC Cola.
I got that.
Okay, good. This one was great. This one was a song sent to us by Richard. By the way, Richard sent us a song to beyond at IGN.com.
How do you send a song, Ryan? You just send it to beyond at IGN.com. A lot of people get hung up on that, too.
Attach an MP3 and then explain...
To your email.
And yes, to your email. And of course, I will be happy to plug your group, yourself, your MySpaces, your Face pages, your Google Chat.
Maps.
The
Twits.
Google Chats.
Anyway, okay. So Richard sent this in. Richard knew how to do it properly, which I appreciate. But this was also just awesome. Richard writes, a hearty beyond from Worksop in the United Kingdom, or Worksop. I actually don't know really how to pronounce it, but I'm going to say Worksop in the United Kingdom. I would get such a buzz if you guys would consider our song for the end of Podcast Beyond. Not only did I consider it, I chose it. And then Richard writes at the end, every Saturday, me and my friends write and record these silly songs after a few drinks and some herbal essences, and then retire to a hot tub and talk about video games and films. Ha! That's it. The song is called Argument of the Ages. I loved the song. It's hysterical but also very catchy, from some of our international friends in the United Kingdom. Who, by the way, if they can produce this kind of stuff after drinking and using herbal essences and then going into a hot tub, phenomenal. You guys must be brilliant.
Yep.
Good stuff. That's it. That's my
Beyond.
Whoa!
Say Beyond.
Beyond.
There it is.
Okay.
You adorable little scamp. Take off that shirt. Come here.
I'm the greatest rapper in all the land. I know we don't have that many fans, but the ones that we have, they all understand. They say I'm the greatest as I do this band. Fuck you, cause I can rap too. Yeah, but Johnny doesn't sound as good as the way I do. Maybe not quite as good as you, but I can hold a note and I can sing a tune. Come on, Johnny boy, you know you can't sing jack. What, you trying to say I sound like a dying cat? Yeah, one that's been run over by a steamroller, screaming for his life, you know it don't sound very nice. I disagree, cause I can sing a tune. Over the top of these, over the top of these, over the top of the top of the top of these chords. Same all can sing the harmonies, all the same words but sung a little differently. You should be looking at the ears, out at the arms. Yeah, I can rap over the top of this, busting out my rhymes and busting out my hits. It's what I do best, son, you better believe I'm like a lion in the jungle or a shark in the sea. Come on, buddy, you gotta cut me some slack back there. You almost gave me a talent attack. It's probably because you know my lyrics are fat. More importantly, what the fuck's a talent attack? Look, I'm just saying that I've been on YouTube and any other grown mummy's boy can rap. Rapping, motherfucker, that's child's play to me. Well, and show us what else you do, bitch, let's see. I'll give you that, that scatting was electric. The demo plays guitar just like Jimi Hendrix. So crank up the overdrive and pick up a 6-string. Let's show this motherfucker, let the solo begin. To everyone out there, thought solo was ace. Here's my buddy Blue Tail slapping the bass. You see, I told you they were good, and just because you can rap doesn't mean you're from the hood. You're just a one-trick pony, big phony. No matter what you try, you know you'll never be as good as me. Shooting like you featureless, I've had it with these tinsels. It's like you always stop me from acting on impulse. I'm a lyrical warrior, my rhymes are only. There ain't nothing you can do because you know this shit is true.
Look, we're all pretty good and... No, I'm not gonna say it.
I think you should.
Okay, one more chorus, one more for the win, but on this one I think that Damo should sing. I can sing a tune over the top, over the top, over the top of these chords. Johnny can sing the harmonies, I'll sing one